I apologize for my tardiness. We had a little makeup situation. Okay, my eye just will not stop watering. So and then my liner was transferring. I'm just like, really? But I guess it's it's the allergy season here, so okay. So I got my little Q-tip. I'm ready to go. So let me go ahead and get into my intro, and then I'll be back.
Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
I don't know what that was about. Okay, so I'm back. I know we agreed on the dress, but I didn't have any tape. So I'm gonna have to try that look a different night. And I didn't want to risk it. So I'm gonna have to try that a different night. I did put on the dress and everything, but like I don't have no boob tape, so I couldn't wear it. So I'll try that a different night. Also, the Pauly TikTok couple video, I'm working on that, y'all. I'm working on it. It's just these live streams are long. Okay, so I'm trying to work through the live streams. I've been on their YouTube channel. I've been on his brother's live, watch that. And there's just a lot of information. So I'm going to need more time on that video. Plus, tomorrow is my birthday. So I'm not going to be working tomorrow. So there's no video tomorrow. But I am working on this video because I'm truly and highly invested in this TikTok couple because they will not stay off of our For You page. Every time I'm on TikTok, they are in my For You page. And I'm not gonna lie, like before this was brought to my attention, I would just keep scrolling, because I'm just like, oof, let me keep scrolling. And so now that I have invested in it, I'm like, this is a mess. So I want to talk about it. So thank you guys for the early birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Oh, did I send this to my phone? Oh, I did. Let me go ahead and bring up this photo so we can talk about this photo. It's so funny. The men's, they was upset about this photo. They weren't really that happy about this photo. And I don't know why. Why can I not bring this photo up? You know what? I'll just go to my community tab. It did this last time. I don't even know why. But yeah, the men's, they was upset, girl. They was mad about this photo, talking about that's not true. There's some truth to it. Oh, wait. There's some truth to it. We all know there's some truth to it. I know there's some truth to it because I've had my own experience. But we're going to get into that. Let me just pull up this photo real quick. Okay, here we are. Let me share my screen. Somebody said it's all facts. It's because it's true. Okay, let me share my screen. Shout out to the creator of this photo. Real_tunes on Instagram. I don't know if his name is pronounced Davian or Davian. I think it's Davy. I want to say it's Davian Chester. Real_tunes on Instagram. He is the one that illustrated this photo. It was a black man that made this, by the way. It was a black. I just wanted to put that out here. It was a black artist that made this. Now, the last girl that made this, the last girl that made the last illustration that I had on my platform, that was a black woman that made that. But this was created by a black man. This was created by a black man. Okay, we got that out the way. So for those wondering, this did not come from a black woman. Let me blow it up for you so you can see. It says at the very top, it says, why do they always pick thugs? Okay. And then here's the girl. I consider this girl right here, you could consider her a nerd, a reject, an outcaster, a weirdo, an underdog. Because look at all these books she got. She's trying to work on her education so that she can get herself in a better position. She's not out here chasing men. She's not out here chasing boys. She's focused on her schoolwork. Then over here it says, hey, remember me? This is years later, by the way. Hey, remember me? And then she's like, why can't I find a good man? And then here he comes, like he's the CEO, he got money, and he like, beat it, chick. Oh my God, beat it, chick. I'm like, oh my gosh. Ooh. Then I guess this is the same year, I guess. And then or the same day. I guess he bumped into both of these girls in the same day. And so he goes, hey, remember me? And then she responds, nope, sure don't. And then he responds, all black women are the same. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think men, can we be real for a sec? I think men like chasing women that don't want them. I don't know. I think there's something about that. Because you ever had an experience with a guy and he was chasing you, and then you finally give him a chance, and then like he just ghost and just disappear, or it's straight out the gate. Like he shows interest in you, you show interest back, and then he just like ghosts you. I think men like women that they chase. And then like once the chase is over with, they don't really like you for real. They're not even into you for real. They not looking for nothing serious. You know? I don't know what that's about. I've never been chased by a man just down and then just reject him just to reject him. But I have mutually thought a guy was showing interest in me, and so I show interest back, and then he just start acting funny. And it's just like, oh, I was about to cuss. It's just like I was minding my business. I didn't even see you. You know what I mean? I was minding my business, doing what I need to do for myself. You showed interest in me. I showed interest back. And then they just start acting funny. So I don't know. I have no idea why. I have no idea. And then they don't just ghost you. They ghost and then they linger. Like they do this like hoovering thing where it's like they haven't really disappeared, but they have. It's weird. They've like distanced themselves. I don't know. It's very weird. So, and I don't know what the reason is because it just happens out the blue. There's no argument, there's no confrontation, everything was going well. He just, I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get that. But let's talk about this photo because I wanted to give my perspective on this photo because men and women are not that different. Men and women are not that different. So I'm going to go to my Instagram story. I'm going to play my Instagram story because I want to start where I left off. So let me switch my screen here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Did that just fall? See, this is what, see. I knew better. I knew better than to wear that dress. Just give me a sec. Let me bring this picture back up. I'm like, what is that noise? You know, black people, we don't do that. Oh no, honey. What is that? What is that? About to get up out of here? Gotta go. Cause you know, anything. Hold on, let me just bring back this screen and then I'll switch over in a sec. Is it this one? Oh, here it is. We don't do that. Let me go ahead and put this back because that is a mess. It ain't. This has never happened before. Okay, we good. Okay. Oh yeah, you know the live definitely will be cut short because I'm about to get up out of here. Ooh. Okay. Stay focused on that for a sec. Because like I said, I want to start where I left off on Instagram last night. Because it was fresh on my mind. Okay, is it this? Okay, let's get into this. I don't feel like commenting this because it's too much. But what do men not understand that when it comes to women, our beauty, our outer appearance is capital, right? Just like their finances, their credit score, it's their capital, their bank account, their job title, it's their capital. Okay, so stick with me. So when it comes to men, right, you don't want a woman seeking you out for your money, right? You don't. You are hoping that she actually loves you and she's truly interested in you, like intellectually, personality wise, the whole nine, right? It's the same thing for women. But because our beauty is our capital, we're very concerned about people wanting to get with us because of our outer appearance. That is our capital. So we want to make sure, like, okay, the guy that we are with, he's showing real interest in us. It's not just about our outer appearance. Just like for a man, it's not just about your money. Men and women are not that different. So when it comes to that cartoon, right? How will she ever know that this man actually sees her as interesting beyond her outer appearance, which is her capital, as a woman in the patriarchy society that we are born into? Against our will, by the way, but it's still our birthright, right? Okay, cool. How will she know? Like, she would have to rack her brain like, damn, is he really like into me intellectually, personality-wise, character-wise, or is he just with me because of my outer appearance? Men have that same thought when it comes to women. So I think it's weird that men feel like, oh, I have my money now. I look better now. I'm entitled to this woman. It's very weird because some women walk around feeling like they are entitled to your money after a glow up, after her outer appearance change, after a BBL and a boob job. Come on, it's the same thing. And I'm going to call y'all out every single time. And I can't help but see the dysfunction in both men and women now. Like, I just can't. Like, I see the dysfunction on both sides. And so, because I'm looking at it from this lens, I'm just thinking to myself, like, when it comes to men, y'all never want to see it from the other way around. Like, and it's so weird. But then I've seen women with the same arrogance, with the same entitlement. And I'm just like, I don't know where y'all getting that from. Like, where are you getting the arrogance and entitlement? Like, because men, they're required differently in society, right? Get more money, get status and all of that. Women, it's to get fine, right? And then once these two individuals, both men and women, reach that status, then all of a sudden they feel entitled to certain things. And it's just crazy. But that's also what the patriarchy influences. So I'm just an innocent bystander at this point. I'm gonna leave on this because I was just thinking, like, to the men, it's like you got to think about the type of girl you're talking to. Like, this is the type of girl that had to work for her beauty. Like, it wasn't handed to her. Like, it may have involved her changing her diet. It may have involved her coming up with a skincare routine. It may have involved her going to a dermatologist. Like, it may have involved her, like, spending money, exercising, dieting. She had to actually earn her capital. And it's no different than you had to earn your position at that job. You had to earn that money that you made. Like, it's the same thing. So y'all just need to understand that. And that's why she's just not going to be so willy-nilly about who she allows around her after the fact. Just like you're not going to after the fact, because you don't know who's using you or trying to take advantage of you. Now, listen, I just wanted to give the womanly perspective when it comes to this photo because, you know, I can listen to the men. I can completely understand where men are coming from. They're like, well, she wasn't that attractive back then. And what you need to understand is a lot of women didn't see you as attractive when you were broke, right? Because we're going off of a shallow perspective, right? So we're looking based off of basically what a person has and what they don't have. And so when we're looking from it from a male perspective, it's, oh, she just was not attractive back then. She just was not attractive. And so today she is. I'm attracted to her. Same thing when it comes to a woman. Back then, you was driving a beat up car. You didn't have no money. You were broke. You were wearing ran over shoes, right? Because from a shallow perspective, still giving the womanly perspective, but from a shallow perspective, you just weren't attractive. You didn't have that sauce. I'm sorry. So please explain to me, what's the difference between these two individuals? What's the difference? It's the same thing, literally. So I think it's weird that men will shame women, but they're basically doing the same thing. And then sometimes women will shame men and do the same thing. So this is my thing. When it comes to my thought process on this, I know y'all. Listen, I tried. But when it comes to this situation, in my opinion, I feel like both men and women need to be adults about this. And in my opinion, when I look at this artwork, I think the woman may have rejected him because it could be he wasn't into her then. And she may be a little guarded. You know, I mean, you got to understand from a woman's perspective, based off of my experience after my glow up, a lot of people come at you. Like a lot of people from the past come at you. They want things from you. They want to use you. They want to take advantage of you. So she could have rejected him simply off the fact that she's just very guarded. Like she doesn't trust people from her past. That could be a thing. But I've seen men do the same thing. Like when you have your come up, you get some money, you have status, and you've been put through the ringer by people that used to know you back then versus now. And it's like you guarded as well. You a little guarded because you like, damn, I don't know if this person just hanging around me because they want something from me, or they just hanging around me because they are trying to use me for my money. It's the same. It's literally the same thing. So when it comes to this conversation about rejection, I think we need to focus on the fact that rejection is just a part of life. And I think we as adults need to just deal with that like adults. What would that look like? Emotional intelligence, not taking rejection personally to the point where you're on some revenge of the nerd where you feel like you got to be on some get back. You don't. Like, you've elevated, you've done the work. Just live your life. You don't have to do all of that. It's really, truly a waste of time. And just move forward. Like, just be grateful of the fact that you're not where you used to be, and just be appreciative of that. You don't got to shit on people. All you got to do really is live, and people will see you. That's really it. All you got to do is keep showing up, doing what you've been doing. People see you. People see you. Trust me. People pocket watch. People stalk, especially online. They do a bunch of weird stuff online. There's really nothing that you have to do. There is nothing that you have to. People watching, people seeing, and they notice you, and that's it. You don't have to be on some revenge. Also, another thing before I start taking calls, because I want to hear y'all's experience. This has definitely happened to me, but none of the men, I'm gonna be real with you, none of the men that I've encountered actually had their stuff together. I'm gonna be real. I ain't bumped into no man from my past that's a CEO with money. It's worst off. They either got out here, and I'm talking about nerd, popular, it don't matter. The good guy versus the jock. They either are out here and they got kids. The nerdy guy was chasing, and he finally got to a level where women started taking him serious. And then he ended up just becoming a baby daddy, a statistic. Nobody wants to deal with that. And then the jock, I don't know how many kids he got. I don't know how many kids he got, but the nerd, he became a baby daddy. And so I've gone through my transformation and whatever like that. I don't got no kids. I don't got no drama. I'm not about to deal with that. And so it's almost like it don't matter if you dealing with the jock, the nerd, whatever the case may be. It's like they still don't got their stuff together. So that's been my experience. So rejection was necessary for me because it's just like, I'm not dealing with that. It wasn't on no revenge. It was just, that's going backwards. We trying to go forward. That's going backwards. And it don't even make sense to go backwards when you dealing with that. So if there's any woman that's about to come on the live, thank you guys for all the super chats. Because I meant to shout you out. Thank you, loving me, loving us. Thank you so much. This is so sweet. And happy birthday to your son as well. And Laura, thank you so much for the super chats. Okay, let me stay focused. But like I was saying, I think we need to be a little more logic about this on both sides. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. I think we just need to be more logic about this, because when you think about it, whenever you have a come up, people around you are not really wanting to be around you genuinely. Like, they really want something from you. Like, men want to use me for my body. After I worked my ass off in the gym, they just want to use me for my body. And you think I'm about to allow that to happen? Like, I didn't show up. I wasn't going to the gym consistently for men. I was showing up and going for myself. I was really trying to get healthy. So it's just, but now they want to take advantage of that. I'm not going for that. If anything, I've became way more pickier. Then men, same way. They get some money. They get in the gym. They work on themselves and stuff like that. They're going to become what? More picky. Just more picky. So I don't know where this entitlement has came from men or women. I really don't. Nobody. I went through a glow up, and my mindset is nobody owes me anything. Nobody owe me shit. That's and the reason why I have this mindset is because I don't want to attract someone that is shallow. I don't want to attract a shallow transactional relationship. I don't. And I understand transactional relationships are the thing now. They not for me. This is why I'm not in a relationship. A lot of these relationships, it don't matter if it's a friendship, if it's a romantic relationship, a lot of these relationships are transactional. There's no depth, like there's no spiritual connection, there's none of that. That's what I need. I need that. I need that intellect. I need that type of stimulation. That's not what men are offering today. They really think because they got money that's enough, and it's not. They don't even have emotional intelligence. They're not even emotionally stable. Who wants to deal with that? So that's all I really got. Last thing that I want to add is when it comes to like high school and college and all of that, if I had a bad experience with someone, I've let that go. I have. And how did I let it go? We were kids. We were kids. You were a kid. I'm not about to hold you. I'm not in adulthood. I'm not about to hold you to something that you did to me when we were kids. Like it just doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to be harboring feelings from high school and college. I'm just not. I'm going to let the past be the past. Understand that we were kids. But if you dare try it in adulthood, I'm going to just block you. I'm never going to talk to you again. So that's how I see it. I have let the past be the past. If it happened on the playground, it's going to stay on the playground. If it happened in high school, it's going to stay in the high school hallways. You get what I'm saying? College, it's going to stay in the dorms. But try that shit. Try that shit in adulthood. You are going to get blocked. And you probably going to get a lot of mouth before I block you because nobody wants to deal with that. I can reason and be like, you were immature. You were just doing things that were just very immature, right? But in adulthood, you showing me who you are. You showing me who you are. You showing me you haven't changed. And so it's just like, I'm not going to deal with you after that. That's crazy. So I just wanted to put that all out here. Now, I would like to hear from you guys. Let me go ahead and put in the chat so you guys can call in and give your opinion on this. Or if you have a story, I like a good little story. I do. I sure do. So if you got you a little story, come on up here. And listen, male or female, I don't care. You got you a little story. And this can be, kind of inspirational. If you've gone through some type of level up, some type of glow up, come up here and share. I don't mind. He says, stay away from people who only read books and only watch TV. I know that's right. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and add you. Hello.
Hey, Yoni.
How are you doing, girl? I'm looking at this avatar picture. I'm like, girl, what is going on?
Oh, that's Kevin Samuel and Tariq Nasheed.
Oh, okay. I'm like, they. Oh, okay. They was a couple.
Yeah, they wear matching pajamas and all
Girl,
that.
the shade of it all. So, what would you like to add to this conversation tonight?
Well, thank you for having me on, Yanni. And hello, everybody. I just wanted to say that the picture I've been saying the picture of the reality, the picture. I don't know if it's before me talking about it, but I've been saying that these dudes they always go for the women that they have a problem with. When I was complaining, I always be like, no, it's because those are the women that you wanted first, but you think shaming them will somehow get them back to you. Anyway, you know what I mean? They're always talking about OF girls and IG girls, but in a way, I think it's because those OF and IG girls were the ones that these men couldn't get. And they're still talking about these women instead of moving on and being a grown adult, they are still hurt. Yeah.
And I
And
like
me,
how you said that because I just literally before you came on, I said I let the past be the past.
yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, the whole movement is trash,
Ooh.
etc. And even though the past is the past, right, and not let it go. I know that I relate to the picture before because I was the nerdy girl. I was skinny, a twig. you would see me having like 5 books in my hand, and I'm always sitting down like at the steps reading a book at school or stuff
Same.
like that. And I'm an outcast. I wouldn't have friends. People would call me boring, lame, and they would say I'm acting white because I'd wear casual. Yeah, I would wear casual clothes that doesn't show skin, long pants, um, those little closed toe shoes. I was the teacher's pet, right? I was doing my homework and I was studying all this and that. I was called white. I was called boring, and many people avoided me. They called me weird, but
Dang, I was called weird too. I was called weird. I was called grandma, and it was because
yeah.
I just can't. I always was more mature than my group of friends, and so they would call me grandma. Yeah,
Yeah,
girl.
exactly. And I love like reading and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I would be told that even brooms have more curves than me. Like I
Oh.
was really skinny. Yeah. But then eventually I would say junior year or at the end of sophomore year,
Mhm.
I started going into the gym, and I was in track, like in the track team, and so I gained like muscle. I had more like muscle on my arms, and my back started being more formed. I started gaining more like curves. My calves started coming out. um and I'm not thick, but I'm not skinny. I'm like an hourglass. I'm like a slim hourglass in a way. I have like a curve, but I'm not skinny. But people would be like, I'm like slim thick. And
Okay.
so nowadays the people that used to bully me now want to be friends with me, and the guys, they wanted to be with me, but eventually I didn't take that route. I'm happy I went to another route of being appreciated, of I'm still an inner nerd, even though I'm also a gym rat, and I married another nerd. So I'm happy now, even though I'm married. I'm happy now as
Mhm.
well, but I can say I relate to that. But yeah, that's all I was going to say.
Well, thank
Eventually,
you. I'm
yeah,
sorry that
yeah,
happened to you. I'm sorry you had that experience. It's not fun.
nah, but
How do
I'm
you
okay
feel?
now.
How do you feel like now about those same people? Do you feel any type of way?
Nah, I don't care, to be honest. To be honest, I feel like if they couldn't accept me at my worst, even though at that point I didn't think I was at my worst, right? But I knew I could have done better.
Mhm.
Because I was literally anorexic, but if they couldn't, accept me at my worst, they don't deserve to, be around me at my best. I don't care what they're doing. I'm happy now. And
I don't
so,
feel like you were at your worst. I just felt like you were just growing, girl. You was just starting out life.
yeah, I was
And
literally 14.
to the young girls that are listening, listen, do not make high school your whole life because it's not. It's not even it's college isn't even your whole life. Like, girl, your whole life really don't start until after college. So don't make these spaces your whole life because the stuff that you go through, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter and it shouldn't really affect you, but it's not the end of the world, is basically what I'm saying. Like there's so much more life that you need, that you will get to live. And it's like, don't just shut down and think like high school and college, that's it. And it's like, girl, there's a whole world outside of those two spaces that you have to look forward to. And just because you had a horrible experience in high school and college doesn't mean you'll have a horrible experience in the real world. So just give yourself some time and don't rush it, but you'll have your moment. You
And
don't want to
before,
peak. I'm sorry, you don't want to peak in high school anyway. You don't. You
mm-mm,
don't really want to start peaking until your junior year, senior year in college. You do not want to peak early. Mm-mm.
right. And before I go, because there's other people, I'd like to say thank you for having me on, Yanni.
Welcome.
And thank you, everyone, and especially Black women, because I'm a Black woman, but also I love Black women, even if they drive me crazy. I
Okay.
love you, but all I want to say is that please be your best self. Don't lower yourself. I don't care what no bum or Dusty or Tyrone's or anyone Dusty wants to say about you. Just be yourself, okay? They don't like you. They don't like you. That's them, okay? You don't need to do anything or change, etc. Just work on yourself, but not for anyone else, and ignore what these incels are saying. they're just bitter. They need therapy.
Ooh.
They're still Revenge of the Nerds. That's them. But you just do you. But that's all I have to say. Yanni, thank you, and good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night. Okay. Z Star, you're up next, sweetie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to say happy birthday, Yanni.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
I was up here. I don't remember which call it was, but I've been up here before, so I just wanted to say thank you and hello again. Um, so I have three personal stories. I'm gonna keep it quick, but
Okay.
I just turned 20. And in high school, well, growing up, I was a nerd. I was like super skinny. I wore the glasses. I was into anime, like all that stuff. So I was a nerd. And when I tell you nobody wanted me, like no black boy, no one was interested in me. All the black boys were getting with the white nerds. Like
Hmm.
I lived in the trenches. Like I live in the ghetto, predominantly black area.
That makes sense.
And they were always with the white girls. It was hardly ever that you would see a black boy or a black nerd with a black girl. So that was just my first quick little testament. My second story, they were talking about rejection in the chat. I don't know if you saw that. And one of the girls was like, do guys come back even after they reject you? When I was 16 years old, I just want to say trigger warning for sexual harassment in case
Oh.
anybody. Yeah, so quick trigger warning. When I was 16 years old, I worked at a pizza place. And like I said, I was nerdy, but I guess I was cute growing up. Like I didn't realize how pretty I was. Looking back, I realized I was cute. I was just very nerdy. Um, I had a crush on this guy that I worked with, but he didn't reciprocate his feelings for me. He was light skinned, green eyes. So, that it was
Yep.
that phase. It was that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so he didn't reciprocate his feelings. But there was one day where he asked to borrow my phone. I lent him my phone and he took personal pictures of me off of my phone and showed the other people at work.
Wow.
Yes. So I ended up leaving that job, obviously. This was in 26, I think it was 2018 or 20, no, it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, so 2020. Fast forward, a couple days ago, he texted me and asked if we could link up. Yep. And I was,
That's how it always works. Girl, I got a
yeah.
high school I got a high school boy in my DMs right now ever since I posted that
Mm-hmm.
photo. You know what? You know how it is.
Yes, and that's okay. The third story links to that. So growing up, I had two best friends, and one was a Blasian girl, and one was a Hispanic girl. And like I said, as a dark skinned woman, you already know how that goes. All the guys were always talking to them, always trying to hit on them, always asking for their number. Would come up to me to ask me for their numbers. Never showed any interest in me when they were around. But as soon as they weren't around, they were in my DMs talking about, oh, I really wanted you whole time. It's like, no, because out in public, they'll act one way. But
Oh,
then in the
girl.
DMs, it's just a whole different story. But I just want to say to my dark skinned girls, don't ever let men make you feel like that's all you deserve. Like you
Right.
deserve so much more than that, You're more than a DM. Like you deserve to be treated. And growing up, this is especially you, like you've shown me that, like I deserve to be treated well, no matter what these men say, no matter what other women say. Like we deserve as women to be treated well.
Especially the girls that just we really wasn't bothering nobody. We didn't even bully people.
Yeah, I was so nice. People would always tell me I was the nicest girl they'd ever met, even though I was bullied growing up for being dark skinned and skinny. I
Oh
was
my
so nice to
God.
everyone.
And that's what I was saying. I'm like, the men that are watching, you got to think about the type of woman or the type of girl that you're interested in now. Like she's gonna carry herself differently because she knows her worth now. And it's like we tend to know our worth later in life because of our earlier I would say situations. And so it made us like really find ourselves because we kind of got lost in how we were treated. And so we had to do the work in order to really know ourselves and to know who we are, to even have an ounce of confidence, because them earlier years, oh, they was rough. They was rough. They was rough. So thank you so much for coming up here and sharing. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. I wanted to add a quick caveat for the men. I just wanted to say that the men are talking about, I was reading your comment to the man. I think you know which one I'm talking about because you responded a lot to him. And what men don't realize, what men don't realize is that men who are shallow are a red flag because those are the ones that are more likely to cheat.
Oh yeah. Yeah, have a baby, get bloated, you know, on vacation, girl, and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, is he for real? Because I understand where he's coming from, but you're not making me feel secure in that response, because it's like you could switch up on me if I just don't look the same. Just like a woman can switch up on him if he loses everything. It's literally the same thing. If he don't have no more money, he lost her.
Yeah.
So
but thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna let somebody else come on. Good night, everyone, and good night, Yoni.
Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to share this with y'all because I want y'all to understand how serious I am when it comes to this, because I know some of y'all not gonna believe me. Okay, so like I said, I had a high school guy DM me on Instagram, and I said, he commented and he said, I still liked your weird ASS. And then I said, if you say so. And then he did a side eye. And then I responded, I said, can you please explain what was so weird about me? Because he said I was weird. Like, why everybody say I'm weird? Like, am I really weird like that? But I'm like, okay. But I said, can you please explain what was so weird about me? And I promise I won't get offensive. I do this all the time, but I seriously want to know. So I'm just gonna play his response.
Weird in a bad way. He was just socially awkward.
Hold on.
I mean, I don't mean weird in a bad way. He was just socially awkward. I mean, I'm weird, you know? But I don't know. You was just, I don't know. I feel like you was just awkward. That's all. That's all. Not in a bad way. I like you though.
Well, there you go. That's all that's all I'm gonna share. I ain't gonna share no more than that. But yeah. Oh yeah, y'all. I'm so serious. They hop in your DMs now like it's nothing. They ready to pour out their feelings, pour out their heart to you now. They want to let you know how they really felt back then. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Thank you, Lane Jane. Thank you so much for the super chat and happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay, AZ, what would you like to add to this conversation? Somebody said, really?
Hi, Yoni.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, so I'm going to be really quick because I'm just reaffirming all of the things that everyone already said. But let me get my notes. I was making notes, girl. So I was a nerd, but I was a nerd in college. So I was an adult nerd, you know?
Okay.
But I wasn't socially awkward. I was still socially, I had a group of friends, we would party, but I was also, you know, taking as many classes as I could. I always had a book in my hand, and I also was working jobs because I couldn't afford to go to school. So you can imagine how my skin looked. I wasn't glowed up yet, you know what I'm saying? Skinny because I wasn't eating, you know what I'm saying? So I say all this to say, I went to a party one time and there was a guy that I was really interested in. He was really interested in me. And, you know, you can tell because they pull you aside. Oh, you're so pretty, yada, yada, yada. Talk to him. And ever since that party, we really connected, or so I thought. So the pandemic happens. We're on the phone every day, every night, every day for a year.
Oh, wow.
And then we come back to school, and I didn't know he was coming back to school. I saw him in the cafeteria and I waved at him and he did not wave back. Saw me. Mm-hmm. He saw me, look at me dead in my eyes, and just turned away like I was a whole stranger.
Wow.
Yep.
How did that make you feel?
It was really sad, honestly, because, I had no dating experience at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, wow, like I thought that, I didn't know how men were, boys are, like I
Right.
thought that we were, gonna get back together, have lunch, reconnect, but now I'm a whole stranger.
Wow.
So I will say, I understand your point. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you do let things go, especially when they happen at those ages, but you don't forget. You can
No, you
always
don't.
forgive, but you don't forget, because I grew up. And it's just like y'all say, I lost all of that pandemic weight. I graduated, the acne's gone, the hair's long. I moved, I have my job, I'm traveling, I'm just living my best life. And this man is calling me.
Yep.
He is emailing me on my school email. Yeah, he's DMing me. And he wants to reconnect now that, I basically put the time and the energy and the money into making myself feel better.
Right.
And so the point I'm trying to get at is forgive, but don't forget the way that
Right.
people made you feel.
Right.
Especially when you have, like, I will say, like, the pretty privilege is real.
Oh
And
my
it's not
God.
just him, it's other people.
Oh, how does that make you feel? Because whenever I talk about pretty girl privilege, people think it's all glamour.
It's definitely not glamour. I wouldn't describe myself as glamorous. I'm more of like no makeup looks. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not, some days I will. We have birthdays. Shout out
But
happy
I mean,
birthday.
like the treatment now versus because a lot of girls think that, oh, I'm not pretty enough. If I was just pretty enough, my life would just be magically better. Like, do you feel that way after a glow up? Like, do you see the pros and cons?
I definitely do see the pros and cons,
Mhm.
because growing up and even in college, I was always second. I was always like, she's pretty, but her friends are prettier, or this girl is prettier, or
Mhm.
and it's like I was not ugly, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, I was stressed, I was starving, I had eating disorder. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Going
of
through real
course,
life stuff at a very young age. Mhm.
exactly. And then hormones. So it's like, now that I'm past all of that,
Mhm.
now it's just like, oh, we should have voted you as this in the yearbook, and we should have done this. And it's just like, honestly, I'm glad that I had the experience that I had, because I can see both sides and I can understand the way that people look at you in your eye with vanity.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, was that all that you wanted to share with us today?
No, I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you.
You and the other YouTube ladies, y'all have helped me more than any women in my life,
Oh, wow.
especially during the pandemic. Like, a young girl, I was a teenager at the time, like,
Mhm.
no dating experience, and you all really validated me.
Mm.
So I just want to say thank you and
You're
have a happy
welcome.
birthday.
Thank you. You have a nice evening.
Alrighty, you too. Good night.
Bye-bye. Okay, T, you're up next.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Hello, how are you? Thank you, Jasmine.
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
Good.
Well, firstly, because I just learned this, happy birthday.
Thank
I
you.
hope that you had a really great day, and I really hope that, well, I mean, you're already glowing. I
Thank
truly
you.
wish you all the best and many blessings to you
Thank you. Thank
because
you.
you've truly helped me and a lot of women. So, once again, happy birthday, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night or day.
Thank
Sorry, I'm
you.
in Canada. I don't know how the time zone here. I think you're in Texas, right?
Yes. Where
Okay,
are you
okay. I don't know.
located?
I'm in Montreal, Montreal,
Oh,
Canada.
oh, well, okay then.
So
So
yeah,
what would
I'm
you
in
like
the
to add
French
to
side.
tonight's live?
Well, firstly, when I saw the post, I felt, this really resonated with me pretty much because, well, number one, I got some stories to tell you in regards of the men. I know someone asked if the men will like that reject you always come back. They always do. They always do. And it's so funny how, because during my high school days, I was pretty much, how do I say it? Well, I was athletic, curvy, dark skin, tall woman, excuse me. And pretty much I was always the rejected one. And I was considered masculine because of the fact that I played sports. And it wasn't just like, cheerleading sport. I meant like I was playing basketball, I was doing track and field, I did flag football. I was pretty much a tomboy when I was younger. And the reason why I was pretty much a tomboy is because I've heard that I was like masculine so much. I felt like that's what I had to be.
Ooh, I relate to that.
And so with that being said,
did your height impact that way of thinking?
Yes.
Okay.
yes. Because like I'm 5'9". Okay. I was always the tallest in the class.
Okay.
Always the tallest. And so when it comes to like sports, when it comes to Black people, like the teacher will just see you and they'll be like, "Hey, you want to play the sport?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And that's how I joined. And from that point forward, I feel like I just had to play this role. It's not like I didn't like sports. I've always loved sports. I still weight train. I still work out. But I felt like I had to play this role.
It's kind of similar. It's kind of similar to the plight of women who are lesbian. Yeah. They feel like they have to be a stud. Well, some of them feel like in order for them to be into women, they have to be a stud or they have to dress like a man. And it's like, I've seen feminine lesbians, and it's kind of similar with the whole tomboy thing. We feel like, okay, because we play sports, we have to be like boyish, but it's like, we can be girly. I've seen girls into sports now where they wear dresses, they wear skirts. And it's like, I never got to do none of that when I was younger because I felt like I had to like fit that mold.
I felt like I had to really fit that mold in order to fit in because the way that I was bullied, it was so bad to the point where I felt like that was really the only way I could try to like fit in. Now, although that didn't really work, I feel like I was still in my own lane at the end of the day. One thing I say I'm very grateful for is that despite the fact that I went through so much in my family life and bullying and mental health, I had the confidence to still be in my own lane. And I think that's why a lot of the girls will still think that I would be like single for the rest of my life, which is interesting to say. So yeah,
because you stay in your own lane.
Yes, that was one of the things. That was actually one of the story times I was gonna tell you, because I was close best friends with two girls because I'm Caribbean. She's also Caribbean as well, but she's the light-skinned, green-eye Caribbean. Like she's the preference. So I remember one time we were talking and I mentioned that I had a boyfriend. And she was like, "Wait, you have a boyfriend?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, did you expect me to be alone for the rest of my life? Like, it's something that it still follows me to this day because it's like, did people really think that I was going to be alone? That I was really going to be single in my corner, not doing anything? I don't know. It really does tell you. It really just shows you how people really think of you and how people be thinking that you're not going to do anything with your life.
Girl, tell me about it. You were still shocked. Like, I know I come on here every day with, so much confidence, but girl, people are like,
how did you get here? Seriously, how do you have so much confidence? I get that all the time. And it's like, the reason why I got that confidence is because I worked on myself. I've mentally and physically put in the work in order to better myself for myself. This is not for
Right.
anybody else. This is not
Right.
for no man. This is not for no woman. And for anybody listening here, please don't better yourself. Try to do these things for other people, because I'm telling you, you're not going to satisfy anybody, because
Yeah.
they're still going to find something that they don't like about you regardless. So please do it for yourself.
Yeah.
So
And
that's my
then you
side
got to
on it.
understand, to the ladies that are like outcasted, rejects, underdogs.
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
y'all, by the way.
Yes.
Weirdos. I love you guys. Please understand that you actually have a wonderful foundation for your confidence. And when I say this, I'm saying you have to find what's so amazing about you, because first of all, you're different. That's number
Mhm.
one. That's why you don't fit in. And you are the reason why you're being outcasted is because you're unique, and you need to embrace that side of yourself. That's the foundation of your confidence. You've always been outcasted, you've always been in your own lane, you didn't conform. So you need to be proud of yourself, because I didn't conform either. I could have,
Mhm.
but it didn't feel right, conforming, trying to fit in, trying to be one of them. It just didn't feel right. So I just never did that. So when people ask me about my confidence today, I'm just like, well, I really didn't have a choice. When you're outcasted for being different, unique, and an individual, authentic, and not really giving in to the mold to fit in, you have no choice but to have tough skin. You have no choice but to be confident in yourself. You have no choice but not to take rejection personally. So that's the foundation of your confidence. And you have to remain loyal to yourself. And as long as you're doing that, your confidence is just, it's going to take time, with age, and you'll get better at it. You'll get really good at it, but you have a wonderful foundation. So don't knock that. I know it may feel weird, or you may feel punished now, but later you will grow to appreciate those memories, of you staying to yourself, staying in your own lane. There are people today my age that are like 30 plus. They don't know how to be alone. And I'm just like, to the point where they are codependent to your energy, because you know how to be alone, and they don't know how
Mhm.
to be alone. They don't know how to just go off and do their own thing. So understand, like, everything that's happening to you is really happening for you. It's not happening against you. So just keep that in mind. Like, you are right where you need to be. You're a late bloomer, and it's just where you are right now. But don't take it negatively. Like, take it with pride, stride. You have a lot to look forward to. And I just cannot stress that. So I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I just had to get that off my chest, because I'm
No,
like,
no, no. Seriously, I was just about to get there. And really, what you just said is exactly how I feel.
mm,
I say this all the time, but I am truly, truly, truly grateful for not conforming into this standard, into this mold, because I know if I did, I'd be in the work. I don't think I would be here at this point trying to please everybody, because the way that people will make you like jump through hoops to join their crew, it was
oh my
just, I just
God.
got so tired of that. And it's like, I just realized that no, it's just really not worth it. And you're right. Once you get older, because I'm 23 now, once you get older, believe me, you will truly be grateful that you didn't go down that path.
Yep.
I am, because seriously, the people that are, I see, I mean, like I said, the same ex friend that I have, one thing that I know is that she would like post quotes about, being alone, but
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
constantly see her with people.
Yep.
And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense that you would like say these, like, be implicit when it comes to me and my relationship, somehow me having a relationship. But then here you are preaching about being alone, and it's okay to be alone, and it's okay to have privacy. But then here you are like constantly with people. That don't make sense to me. But do you? I just blocked and move on.
Yep.
And when it comes to, when it comes to like being alone, you truly get to learn more and more about yourself. I mean, fortunately, I had teachers and two teachers actually that helped me learn about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of strengths that I've learned about myself is truly something that I'm really happy that I was able to have, and I still carry on with me today, because especially when it comes to the men keep coming back to me and try to get with me, they always try to get with me for my body, which is so weird, because I don't know, they say that they're not interesting, or they will tease you to death, but then they will be like secretly in the corners like, oh no, I'm interested in you, and it's like, then why do you need to tease me? Why do you need to bully me and then bring me to the corner and tell me that you like me? Like that's such a weird thing to do to someone, and it's so wishy-washy. So it's like you just have to you just have to back off from people like that, because if you end up in a relationship like this, that's the crazy part. If you do end up falling into that, and then you end up in a relationship, or you end up having a sexual relationship with them, they will try their best to embarrass you, tell the whole school that, oh, I did this with her, she did that, I was the one that managed to do it. It was like this confidence boost for them to like try to, be in a relationship, or try to be your first, or try to embarrass you. It's just, it's hard to explain. I hope it makes sense, but that's just my experience when it comes to being that awkward girl per se. But now I do feel I've glowed up a lot. I do think that I still have a lot to learn. I mean, like I said, I'm 23, but especially during the pandemic, I've tapped into my femininity. I'm trying to learn how to dress up more, because I don't really dress up that often. I'm buying some clothes, I'm seeing a lot of women dressing up. I feel like I should do that. I don't wear makeup, but I feel like that's something I should try to do as well. Try to like constantly improve every day.
And that's all we need to do. Like, we don't have to do nothing else. That's it. Just work on ourselves. Thank you so much for coming up here and sharing with us. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Okay. Aloof. I already like you already because of your name.
Oh my God. I
love that. All right. So you just be, in your own little world. You just you're a daydreamer.
Ma'am.
You're here, but you're not here with us, but you're here with us. And how was that growing up?
Well, let me tell you, Miss Yoni, I am obsessed with your channel. I've been subscribed for like 3 years. I'm really excited right now and really nervous.
Thank you.
I just want to let y'all know in the chat, like, I got ADHD, so if I talk hella fast, I am so sorry. Try to keep up. I'm sorry.
Is there like a connection with being aloof and ADHD? Because I have the same thing.
No, I think so. I think sometimes we get so used to being the mood setter in a room that we need that time to just go into our little shell, like hermit mode. Because I know you be doing tarot too. That hermit card be coming out telling us to reset. And I feel like we really need that time, because we're extroverts. I feel like most people with ADHD are extroverts, and we tend to manipulate the energy in the room based on how we are as individuals. So
right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I used to think I was introverted, but I'm learning I'm not.
And that is exactly what I wanted to talk about right now.
Ooh, okay.
I actually used to be an extrovert, and I've always been outspoken and blunt, although I am aloof. But I went on a weight loss journey, and I used to be morbidly obese. Like, every time I would go to my pediatrician, they would be coming at my neck, like every single time.
Girl, you look good though. Oh, girl, I know they own you. Oh, I know they own you.
Unfortunately, they're all bums though. They're all bums. But yes, I used to be morbidly obese as a child. And although I was insecure, I never bit my tongue for anybody. That's one thing that I pride myself on. And I went on my weight loss journey and I lost 50 pounds, right? And the main thing that I noticed, I didn't want to focus more on my appearance, but more so how communication changed with people. And when I was blunt and like overweight, I used to be masculinized just like T. And I used to be, how do I phrase it? Like,
people were almost disgusted that I was able to be so outspoken and blunt, even though I wasn't physically attractive. It's like it almost
Ooh.
offended them, you
Ooh.
know? And now that I've lost weight and I carry myself in a specific way, I do the lifting, I do the journaling, I do everything I need to do to have a stable foundation within myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people find my bluntness and my outspokenness endearing and motivating now.
Girl, ain't it something?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because I used to just be the fat black girl with an opinion, but now like people really be bothered by what I be saying. I'm like,
Now we're black queens when we step into a room.
and I respect what she has to say, and I'm
Right.
just like, what is so different about what I was saying before versus then? It's like people respect you more just because your outer appearance has changed, but your bluntness is still the same.
And men find it like sexy. Yeah. And it's weird. Like, I'm coming at the side of your neck right now. Why are you why are you getting turned on? Like, I'm confused.
Oh my God.
And basically it's like the same thing happened with friend groups. Just like the last caller, I had to jump from friend group to friend group because I never felt like I could be authentically myself around girls who would bite their tongue to make men feel more comfortable around them, you know? And now I have 2 friends, but it's not a friend group, 2 separate friends that I've been friends with for 5 years. And those are my girls because they understand that I am more than just my outer appearance. I am more than just my opinions. I am an individual who brings substance to them. And that's what I want from my romantic partner and my friends. And it was almost as if when you are an overweight Black woman in society, you aren't allowed those things. And I feel like that feeling of rejection really, I even had a period of time where I thought I was asexual because I was getting used to just being alone. And I could never envision myself with a person in the future because of how I was treated as a child. And I've lived in the hood. I've lived in the suburbs. Because I'm from Boston. So you know how it is over here. And it never changed no matter what neighborhood I was in, no matter what demographic of the person I was talking to. It was always the same. I was always just the rude Black girl who couldn't control herself. And now that I've lost weight, it doesn't matter which area I'm in, whether it's the hood or the predominantly white areas. Now I'm just this outspoken, beautiful woman who has a good head on her shoulders, who is articulate, who's intelligent, when in actuality, I'm the same girl that I was back then.
Girl, let them know. And then on top of that, it's so insane because now they say things like, you're empowering. I'm like, was I not that before? Like,
exactly.
I'm so glad you came up here and said this because I've been feeling like this for a very long time. I'm like, what is so different? But I guess.
And I also just wanted to add one more thing. When I was working front desk at a gym, I had a coworker and I'm only 20 and he is 28. When we were working together, he didn't view me as a woman. And until I left that job, once I left that job, he started to view me as a woman. And we were friends before that, right? And once I started, because I was at that job from 18 to 20. So it's a small little transition, you know what I mean, into my womanhood, even though I'm still young. And I started dressing up more. I stopped hiding myself. And he would ask me for pictures of myself. And, you know, we're friends. So I didn't think it was anything weird. And then he started to say things like, oh, we should get together. We should go on a date and stuff. And I was like, I almost just name dropped him. Oh my God. And I was just like, I thought you didn't see me as a woman. And he was like, I don't have any friends that are ladies.
What?
Right. And ever since that day, I think I just kind of took my hands off the wheel in a sense when it comes to romance and love.
Oh, you in a good place.
Oh, am I really coming from you? That's really empowering.
Yeah, you in a good place because I feel like when you're so hyper focused on romance in your life, you tend to attract the worst men. And when you just let go and you just go back to just focusing on yourself and being in the flow, you bump into somebody, you know. But I think that's a good place to be in. Like, I think a lot of women are starting to take that approach.
And I really hope we do because, you know, when I first lost all that weight, I didn't, and I believe you've spoken on this before. I didn't know what to do with all that male attention because deep down we all love some form of external validation. We
Right.
do. We are human. And I would talk to these Dusties and these Bums and these Pookies and these Ray Rays, and I would let them have access to my body, and I began to feel disgusted within myself. And I was starting to almost conform to the women that I didn't want to be like. And it wasn't until I found channels like yours, Paris Milan, and all those other women that just try to empower Black women that I realized my worth. So once again, Yoni, like, thank you so much for all you do. Like, you dead ass make me emotional. I'm not even gonna lie, because
Thank you.
it makes me envision myself when I become like a full-fledged woman. Like, I want to be just like you, basically. And I really admire you, and I admire everybody in this chat for sharing their stories and just being authentic. And that's all I just wanted to say. I'm sorry if I was a little bit like talking fast and incoherent, but I just was really excited to join your live. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed you. Thank you for coming up here.
Of course. Bye.
Bye. Good night. Okay, Mercedes.
Oh.
You are up next, sweetie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, happy birthday, Miss Yanni. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. Good. Good.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm good. Just blessed and highly favored.
Oh, I like
blessed
that.
and highly favored, period.
Okay.
So I would say when I was growing up, I obviously, you see the profile. I'm a chocolate girl. So I lived in New Mexico. So everybody's like, what the hell is a New Mexico? Basically, it's a little state in freaking the United States. But at that time, there was barely hardly any Black girls, Black people in general. So it's kind of like I have the same story as kind of what a lot of girls have. Like we wasn't chosen. I feel like I was definitely made to feel bad about what I look like. Unless it was something sexual, then it'd be totally different because I am a curvy girl as well. So I dealt with that. I dealt with a lot of things, saying little mean things, having quote unquote friends. However, I've learned at a younger age, just because you skin folk, that don't make you kinfolk, period.
Right.
So just making like rude comments about my color and stuff like that. And then of course growing up, I felt like there was like a identity crisis, maybe like, oh, I would look better if I was light skinned and all this other stuff that was crazy. And then I moved to Texas, Houston, Texas for college. Child. I was just like, I knew I'm not ugly.
Different crowd. Yeah,
right,
different
crowd. However, it's kind of like how the young lady kind of before me said it. Like I started to like give my body to the wrong people. And because I just didn't come from being quote unquote fast, I guess.
Right.
I just felt like just not okay with it.
Right.
Like nothing okay, And then I had one instance where there was a guy who I was dealing with, and then I cut him off. And then like he just felt the need to like tell everybody in school that we dealt with each other. I'm just like, are you serious? So moving past that, fast forward, I went back to New Mexico because I needed just a break after college. And then that's when I started seeing a lot of my old classmates, the same classmates that had a lot to say about me. And then of course the reception was a lot different. And now fast forward, I have my 10-year reunion this summer. And I don't know if maybe it's the unhealed part of me, but I'm just like, I'm ready. A girl look good. Let's get it. Hey, let's get it. You said who's ugly? Who what? But that's just the unhealed part of me. But the other part of me is just I'm just excited just to see everybody, just to see all the little kids, if they're gonna bring them or not. All my little nieces and quote unquote nephews and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. But there is a part of me where it is just like, no, a girl's doing good, a girl looks good. Who fat? Who exactly? You see,
girl, but
period.
You don't feel like Facebook don't give you all of that.
I'm not on Facebook anymore.
You're not on girl. That's where girl.
Facebook's too toxic. I don't like it.
Girl, but I definitely be on there creeping though. I'm like,
you do?
This is, you know what? Let me mind my business. Like, I'm like, what happened?
Man, it's a lot of that, and then also it's a lot of, when did y'all get together? Because y'all had classes together and y'all were not paying attention. Now y'all have a whole ass kid. excuse my
Yeah, a whole
language, which is
family
beautiful.
married.
Yes.
And then they look older than us. That's another thing.
Oh
They look
my
older than us
God.
too. And I'm like, damn, what happened? That's why I'm like, you know what? I'ma just mind my, I'm not blind. I can see. And
You
so
know when
they look
you know what's
tired.
funny? 50 Cent has like a, and 50 Cent is problematic. I get it. But 50 Cent has like a song, and it's like the Wanksta song. He was just like, dang, homie, you was a man in high school. What happened to you? Or something like, you in high school, you was a man, homie. What the heck happened to you?
Mm,
Like, yeah. I was just like, there's a whole lot of that going on.
yeah,
But
it's
for
a lot.
me, it's just because I know a lot of young girls listen to you.
Mhm.
I listen to you too. You definitely are an inspiration. I definitely want to be like you when I grow up. That's why that's why I'm doing, this detox that's hard, like no smoking, no drinking, working out, eating
Oh,
right,
girl.
because I just feel like that's what you need to do. You did it, Yanni, and I feel like
Mhm.
I can do it too.
It's so
So I do
hard.
want to. It is, child. It is, child. It is, child. I be praying. I'm like, give me the strength. I just want to just light up a blunt, like please.
Oh my
But
God. And then just not keeping alcohol in the house. It's I've always had alcohol in the house, even when I was a kid. So even when
mm,
I wasn't drinking, alcohol was in the house. So
mhm.
it's so
you
weird to
know,
set that boundary with yourself.
You know what's crazy? I've never been one to drink alcohol, but when it
Mhm.
came to smoking weed, especially in high school, people just thought that I was just doing the most because I was curvy. I think, unfortunately, that stereotype is just like if you got a little meat on you, they just think
Mhm.
that you're doing everything out there.
Oh,
And it's,
girl.
but then it's just like y'all know my mama, so why do you guys think that? Like, come on, put two and two together, y'all. Y'all know my mom. Y'all know I'm scared of her. Okay, let's not. But it was a whole lot of that. So when you do talk about like the stereotypes, how thicker women get, and then sometimes we do kind of play into those stereotypes.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
it is
Chloe.
like it's
Chloe.
very key.
Chloe Bailey. Sorry, I just want to
Man,
get that out.
yeah, I was not happy when I saw her bent over like that. I'm
I
like,
don't think
come on,
any thick
Chloe.
I don't think any thicker woman that is
No.
all constantly reduced to, that stereotype, I don't think any of
Mm-hmm.
us were really happy with it, to be honest.
Not at all, because it reflects off of us, and then for me, it's just like I don't care if she's light skinned, brown skin, whoever. I'm thick, she thick. We got the
Right.
same.
That's all that
I'm a
matters.
little yes, like I'm a little bit bigger, but when I when I get lose a little weight, like that is a stereotype that we do face that we unfortunately have to face, and then I faced that a lot in high school. So
Mhm.
I just thank
Mhm.
God that there were no rumors out there like that because I stayed my ass in the house because my mama made me.
Right.
But yeah, it's just crazy. So for the young girls, to be honest, just like I get that you want to like, oh, the boys, you see them bringing their girlfriends happy Valentine's Day stuff and Christmas gifts and all this other stuff. However, I do want to say to the young girls, your time will come. And to be
Yeah.
honest, like high school is not all that great. Trust me. Trust me, I'm already seeing how some of my classmates have ended up. I think instead of worrying so much about like validation of these little boys, and I know it's easier said than done because I was once a little girl hearing this, and it's like, child, bye. You have men, you have cute guys all in your face. You trying to tell me something, but no, I didn't have that growing up, and I'm telling you, that was the best thing that happened to me because my
Facts.
personality, girl, is on fleek. I got
Mm.
personality. I help out people. I am a DHS caseworker, so I help out kids. I make sure kids are safe. I have great connections with people. I'm a chocolate woman, but I can talk to anybody, Hispanic, white. I don't give a F. And like language barriers is nothing I can get. It is what it is. As long as we have a connection, that's all that matters. And not too many people have that. So
That's fact.
cherish the gifts that God gave you, and you just move on for the life. Not everybody needs to have a flock of boys distracting them because a lot of times there are nothing but distractions. Get on it, be about yourself, you know.
Right.
But that's
The
all I
sooner
got.
the better, sweetie. The sooner the better.
Okay, I'm 28 and I'm still learning, child. I
Yes.
feel like some of these girls, they 20 years old, they got it. I'm like, I'm so happy for my babies,
Right.
period. Yes.
I
My
love it.
God, like the one thing, just like the natural hair thing that I'm seeing, I wish I had that when I was a little girl. Like my
Mhm.
hair would be so like it's just like just seeing little babies, little black babies in their natural hair and they love it and they're feeling confident about it. I'm just like, yes, you go. And now we have content creators talking about like feeling good about your skin tone and, feeling good with your weight, feeling, if you're a
Right.
little chubby, then, it is what it is. Like love yourself, but then do the steps to make sure that you are healthy, not
Right.
only for the male gaze, but how you
For
feel
yourself.
inside,
Mm-hmm.
period. So I love that. And thank you so much, Yanni. You're just amazing. And I'm
Thank you.
glad
Thank you.
you're here on your birthday. And I hope you have a good one. Okay.
Thank you. You too. You have a nice day.
You too, sweetie. Bye bye.
Okay. Okay, before I add on the next caller, I just wanted to clear this up. It's not that Chloe did a sex scene. That's not the point. Okay. If you are a thicker girl, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm trying to be age appropriate. Okay. It's the type of sex Chloe did. It wasn't that she did a sex scene, it was the type of sex scene that she did as a thicker girl. Okay. Now, if you are a thicker girl and you don't have any sexual history or experience, then I can understand why you may be a little confused. But a lot of men who come chasing after us because we're thicker, the sex scene, it was aggressive. He was also her face was in the pillow, and it just came across like very disrespectful. Like we're, as a curvier girl, we tend to only be reduced to an arch and our ass in the air from behind. That's why. Now, if she would have did a different sex scene where she's laying on her back or a different position, I wouldn't be tripping. But it's like, every day we see how hypersexualized she is by the male gaze. And so to see her in that sex scene, in that position, for a thicker woman like myself, it's like, why would she do that? Why would she feed right into the stereotype? Like literally, she fed right into the stereotype. It's not that she did the sex scene, it's just, girl, you could have did a sex scene like Nia Long, or a sex scene like Sanaya Latham, or hell, when Stella got her groove back, she was hooking up, girl, but on screen you like, damn, have they done this before? Like, this is a hookup, girl. It was very passionate in how Stella got her groove back. But the scene that we saw, it was like your typical thick girl with a big butt, ass in the air from behind, face in the pillow. It was a lot. So of course that's what men want to see, but it's like, as a thicker girl, come on, like, you making it harder for me. Now my stereotype is being seen through Chloe, and now I got to go out into the world and deal with men being hypersexual just so they can get me in the same position she was in that short 30 seconds. And that's all it takes. Because now they showing they done took screenshots, they done bookmarked it. I'm like, oh my God. It was the position that she did. It wasn't the sex scene in itself. So I just wanted to clear that up for context. Is it Quenisha?
Close. Can you actually hear me, Yanni?
Yes, ma'am.
It's Quaisha, like quiet and shy.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, and happy birthday. You're just like my
Thank
sister
you.
in Aries. You're bringing in the new year. I love it.
Thank you. So what would you like to add to tonight's conversation?
So I kind of wanted to extend a little bit of the conversation we had on the Instagram, because I actually commented on your Instagram post this morning when I saw it. I saw the picture, and it was ironic to me because I had just had this conversation a couple of days ago. Plus, I've been having this conversation with guy friends for years, right? That I'm like, listen, like, you guys pointing the finger at women, but you should be pointing it back at yourself sometimes, because it's y'all that's not doing it right. You're getting mad because the Keishas or the Tanishas or the Tamikas, they not feeling you, but Sarah or Liana over there on the side, like, she's studying, she's trying to get her bag together. You're not looking at her though. Oh, but then it's funny when years go by, you graduate college, you do your thing, you making money. Now you want to look at Sarah and Liana. Why? That's funny. Like, you had all that time, all that energy. It's just like this. It's just like the Steve and Laura triangle from the Family Matters, where you
Oh
had
yeah.
the popular girl, you have Steve, and you had the other girl that I can't remember her character's
Myra,
name.
girl, Myra, girl.
Yes, Myra. So I'm like, okay, this is literally the triangle that keeps repeating itself and no one's mentioning that. So I
Yeah.
love the fact that you posted that picture, because I've been saying it when the beginning of the manosphere, because I got sucked into that commentary. I didn't even know what I was listening to until I realized it before the pandemic. And I'm like, these guys sound kind of butthurt, like what's going on? And every female that they're mentioning is the IG chick. It's
Yep,
the
yep, yep.
it's the OF women. It's all kinds of women that are not the realistic everyday woman.
Yep. And
But
that's
they're
when I
pinning
started to
that.
tune out. I started to tune out. They want their fantasy girl. And they
Exactly.
fantasy girl don't want them, and they feel entitled to the fantasy girl because they got money now, they got status now. And I'm like, it just don't work like that.
And then they think because they get rejected by them, that the good girl, the girl that was minding her business, the one that was doing her job, the one that was going to school, the one that was doing her homework and being focused, they think that that one's supposed to wait for them forever and just be there and be entitled when they're ready for it. And that's not always the case.
Remember, okay, I had this. It's crazy because this conversation is tying into another topic. But I just had this conversation on my Instagram live where I said, to be the wifey type, that's a horrible position to be in as a woman. To be the fun girl, which is the OF girl, the Instagram baddie, whatever the case, it's horrible to be that girl. It's horrible to be either woman because we are stereotyped. It's horrible to just be the fun girl. And then it's horrible to just be the wifey type because in reality, if you're the wifey type, they tend to take you, waste your time, put you in their back pocket, and then want to pull you out when they're finally ready to settle down. And then when you're the fun girl, you tend to be used for a good time, taken advantage of, and put through the ringer. And so in reality, this is why women just need to find themselves and be themselves. And I feel like you need balance. You need to be the good girl, but don't allow these people to play with you. Get your experiences so that you're not being taken advantage of, so you don't have like a naive outlook and mindset. But then don't also go all the way over to the left where men are just using you and taking advantage of you. Find your own balance, find your own way. And I feel like it's going to be in the middle because when you get out here and you do let your hair down, you have a little fun, you gain your own experience, you know what you want, you learn what you want, and you learn more about yourself. So it's like more of a balance. But to be the fun girl, the OF girl, the Instagram baddie, and then to be the wifey girl, it's horrible. You don't want to be either. You
And
don't
that
want to
was
be.
and that was exactly my experience. I was always the wifey girl, the good girl,
Mm-hmm.
okay, yeah, when I get older, that's the one I want to wife. And it's always, why does it have to be when I get older? That was always my question. Is like, what do you mean? Like, this is not the lifestyle you wanted? Like, what's going on? And another thing, to the girls who were considered different or good or in one box or just not the popular standard or the
Right.
trendy girl, they just have to learn how to accept that they're not going to be the same like everybody else.
Right.
Accept it, take it,
The
and
biggest,
grow
the
into
biggest,
it.
the biggest tip that I could ever give you guys on my platform is to not allow any of these people to put you in a box. Don't make them put you in the good girl wifey box. Don't make them put you in the OF Instagram baddie box. Create your own
Exactly.
lane, stay in it, and just be yourself. But as soon as you try to fit in one of these boxes, you're gonna get played and you're gonna get manipulated. So
Every single time.
it's best for you to stay in the middle, be mysterious, and be unpredictable. Because if you are predictable, you will easily get manipulated and you will easily get played. So you need to learn how to have fun. If you don't know how to have fun, you need to learn how to be alone. If you don't know how to be alone, I don't know what woman I'm talking to, but learn how to be both because then you're unpredictable and a man can't play with you.
Exactly. And then you also get to learn to love yourself in that entire
Yep.
process. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what really it becomes attractive, is you loving yourself and you enjoying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's really all I just wanted to add in, Yanni. Thank you so much. I hope you have a really great birthday. I'll
Thank
just
you.
keep
Thank
it
you.
short.
Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, Yanni, how are you?
Good. Hi, Amber. How are you?
All right. Okay, so
Picture I 100% agree with already.
But girl, I love your room though. Are those posters?
Yeah, so those are my posters in the back, and then on that side I have like album covers and all that good stuff. Excuse my room, it's a mess.
Girl, I love it though. It's giving personality. I love it.
Thank you. And I'm glad I got that showing because I kind of feeds in right now. So in high school, I was the athlete. I was the tomboy, if you want to call it that. I was the, oh, you're too muscular, oh, you're ugly, whatever the case may be. So boom, right, went to college. I struggled in college because I was still trying to find myself a lot of times, ended up flunking out. Long story short, I ended up getting my bachelor's, good stuff, yay. So then I started working for a tech company, right? I must say that this tech company I work for has majority Caucasian males. So, right. So, boom, come in first. I had the long braids, whatever the case may be. They're not receptive of that. They're like, okay, that's not your personality. Boom. One girl, she had the braids. She was a stereotypical African-American woman, loud and all that stuff. I'm like, that's not my cup of tea. I'm not going to do that. First off, I'm trying to get higher up in this company. You're not going to play me like that or box me in. So once I started showing my true personality, like wearing Vans, my hair color, my nails, just speaking just with my vernacular, my tone, it seemed like everybody started just absorbing my personality, just loving me. So this kind of ties into colorism a little bit, right? So we have a new manager that came. I'm very nice. I'm very open. I'm very honest. I'm welcoming. So she starts doing stuff you'll usually see on a playground, childish behaviors, calling me bald-headed multiple times. Yes, ma'am. She would reference my teeth multiple times. Like, oh my God, your teeth are so straight. Your teeth are straight. Odd, right? This woman, I had a quick weave done, right? This woman walked up to me, planted her hand on my head. I turned around, I grabbed her hand. I said, don't you ever do that again. I said, especially being a woman of ethnic background. I said, why would you think that's okay? She got real quiet and backed away, right? Needless to say, we went to HR. So that was my first colorism story. I just want to say that as I started getting older and really adopting who I am, I'm a real big douchebag now. Like I'm going to speak how I feel. You're either going to like it or you're not going to take it. But there's no in between. Has guys circled the block? Of course they have.
Right.
And when they try to, I went to school with you, I dead ass look at them like this. Okay, what can I do for you? They come right. Well, get to it. Like there's nothing you can have for me. Nothing at all you have for me. But I just came on here to say, like, please, ladies, if you are a nerd, weird, I don't care whatever it is, embrace that. Because the world wants to see more of that than the average, okay? Baddies, whatever, they're going to go out of style soon.
Girl, I feel like they're going out of style right now.
Oh, you're right. They done. It's a wrap. They done. There's
I knew something was up because I'm like, why are these girls like changing their whole personality? And I'm like, thank God I stayed true to myself because, and listen, I was a little out there at first, and then I was like, that ain't me. When you're trying to find yourself, you're going through a little phase. But now I'm like, so now it's the popular thing to do. It's girl. So yeah, make sure you remain yourself because girl, a lot of like the modesty and all of that, it's like, girl, that's always been in style. Like for me,
right.
I don't know.
I'm 33, so if you're in your late 20s or your teens, please, it's going to come. Like the last place, it's going to come. Like it's there. It's going to blossom. Just let it blossom.
Yeah, it is. And this is like the season for it. So really like start really working on yourself and finding, because I know we've been programmed, right? Because we're currently in this transition where it seems like those women are kind of going out of style. They've heard it before, seen it before. So it's like they're losing that because they're so out here. Men like a woman with a little more mystery. You're noticing that? And so because they don't have the mystery, those women are becoming more uninteresting to them. So you need to start loving yourself because you were slightly programmed for a sec to be that girl, but you see how quickly they're going out of style. That's why it's like it's always best to be yourself, have some mystery, be unpredictable. Don't try to fit into anything. Like just stay in your lane. Appreciate who you are for who you are, and you gonna win that way.
Right. That's all I wanted, Yoni. Happy birthday. Make sure you enjoy, okay? Bye.
Thank you, Amber. You have a nice evening.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, nature calling.
Hi, Yoni. Happy
It's been a
birthday.
while. How are you doing?
How big purr, big Aries.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so I have a different kind of spin on it.
Okay.
I was the popular slash nerdy girl.
Okay,
So
okay,
don't boo
okay.
me off, ladies.
No, that's different. There's popular loners. I would consider myself to be a popular loner. Like I'm antisocial, but I can interact with people, but I like to be by myself. I was kind of like that. Cuz
Same.
I don't fake interactions with people, and so if I felt like I wasn't going to have an authentic reaction, I would just keep to myself, but people would talk to me, think I was cool and everything, but I would just stay to myself. So I get what you're saying. Like popular nerd is similar to being a popular loner.
Yeah, like I'm over even till this day, I'm very I don't speak unless I'm spoken to because
Same.
I always go with my gut. Like if I feel like I'm not gonna have a good interaction with you, I won't say anything. So I went throughout like my whole life people thinking that I was very quiet. Again, like I said, I was nerdy. I feel like I only became popular in high school because of, superficial reasons. I always had, you know, the new Jordans that came out. My hair was always done. I always had the new cell phones, like just superficial stuff like that, like high school kids like, right? But I was always smart. I always passed my class, always passed tests, and things that they used to find like even the popular kids didn't like me because I didn't fit in their mold of what popularity was supposed to be. So I would talk to the quote unquote nerds and the geeks because I can't talk to y'all about things that are intelligent because you don't know. There's so much I can speak about sneakers and hair and celebrities with you. On this side, I can actually have intellectual conversations and talk about math and talk about, that's how I passed math, was talking to the quote unquote people that you said were too beneath me to talk to.
Right.
So I was friends with everybody in school. Like no one usually had a problem with me. But I can also say this, I was mean nice. I can say that. So I want to say with the picture that you posted, they don't want nice girls.
They
They like
don't.
mean girls. And I can say I can attest to that because I was one of those mean girls. Now, I wouldn't say I was a bully because there's nothing like I wasn't like making fun of like the way they dress or anything like that. But when they used to come to me, I always was one of those people where like, if you want to be in my presence, you're going to have to prove your worth. Like, I'm not going to be walking around with you and I know I'm popular and you want to just, no, you're not going to take all, you have to do. I used to like, I'm thirsty. And they go get me something to drink.
Right.
Like, my
Men
bag
like
was
mean
heavy.
girls. That's why I'm like in this illustration, I'm pretty sure he want her bad now.
Yes. And I used to be like, carry my bag. They would do it. Carry my books. They would do it. I didn't have to ask twice. And it was kind of like, you don't like
women need to learn how to be mean nice to men.
Listen, I feel like they want to be in your presence. They want to breathe and share the same air next to you. You're going to have to prove yourself. Carry my bag. Carry my books. I'm thirsty. And I would just look at one. I'm thirsty. And they already knew. Go to that vending machine and get me something to drink. Because I want to fast forward it because years later, even after high school, these men are in my inbox till this day. The nerds, the popular one. Oh, you look, I'm 34 years old. I turned 34 January. I do not have any children. So these are people who are in my inbox that I already know who have several children by now. They're not on the third, they're on the fourth, or they're on the fifth. Okay.
Some must be in the water. Yeah, in the water. Because it's like, yes, they be on like their fourth or fifth child.
And I just be like, okay. And like I said, when you on social media, you always hook up with the people that you knew in junior high school, whatever. So it's like I've seen your life play out on social media. Like just because I don't comment or do anything like that doesn't mean I'm not currently on social media and I'm not watching. So they're now in my inbox talking about, you look good and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm hydrated and I'm moisturized. Thank you. You don't look like you've drinking water, sir, since 2009.
Oh
but
my gosh.
And they all look like they're in their 50s. And I'm like, we're only 34. I said, what's going on? Like
life is hitting them hard.
Go. Like what kind of, and I feel like it's because I wasn't a very party person. I wasn't a person who was really into drinking that much either. I'd never really smoked. Like, you always do your little experimenting in the beginning, but I never got into it. I was like, this is disgusting. I don't like smelling like this thing. I don't like my mouth tasting weird. It just repelled me altogether. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But a lot of the people who are my age, they look like in their 40s and their 50s, and it's crazy.
I know, on Facebook. That's why I'm like, we the same age. What happened? Like, it's a mess.
And
but I know it's stress. Listen, stress will age you fast. Do not be stressed out.
Listen, I'm telling you.
Stay away from stress. It's the stress, y'all. I'm telling you, stress will age you so fast. It's the stress. And then it may be alcohol or some other things, but it may not be any of those. It may not be it may not be substances. It will be stress, literally.
And like I said, I feel like they're talking to me now in my DMs because I don't have children. I don't have that stress. I don't got no man stressing me out. I'm child free. I'm on my vacation. I make my money and I'm on my business. I drink my water because clearly y'all not doing the same. So, but like I wanted to say, like, they don't want nice women. They like mean girls. Because even now in my even my 30s, I don't know, like I've always never just, I don't know, like men have always just been like a dime a dozen to me. It's like, girl, whatever, you're not special to me. I can replace you. It's not a problem.
Right.
And I guess it's because I never had like I wouldn't say low self-esteem, but I guess low self-esteem when you're in high school, you kind of always feel unsure of yourself.
Right.
But I never felt that because even when I was younger, my parents have always assured me, or my mother always told me, you're such a pretty girl. You're so pretty. My father, you're such a beautiful girl. My older sisters, you're so pretty. So by the time I got into high school, I never had that feeling of I'm not attractive.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I knew that I was attractive, and I know that boys are going to like me because I'm attractive. But the nerds would just like, the nerdy guys would just always be on me. And I used to be like, it's interesting because I know plenty of nerdy girls, and I used to try to hook them up too. And that used to be the funny. I'm like, oh my God, you and so-and-so would be such a cute couple. And they'd be like, no. And I'd be like, why? They'd be like, I like you though. And I used to be like, but I don't like you. And I'm telling you to your face, I want to hook you up with somebody else. And they would tell me no. So it's like they're purposely not looking for people who are on, I don't even want to say lame, but it's like common practice and it's like common interest.
What do you think it is though? Like I try to understand men. Why do they chase women that don't want them? I don't get that.
I think it is about the chase, but it also seems more like conquest, because
conquering
mm-hmm. the like whatever, like you're the Helen of Troy and I won the war kind of thing. But
yeah,
like with me, it was, I always was there, and like I said, I wasn't like bullying people, but I was also, I guess, nice, whatever to them. And even when I was terrible to them, like even saying, I'm like, what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you not to sit in my seat? Didn't I tell you to move? Don't talk to me again. It was like they never got it. It was like they wanted to come around. They were begging. And I'm just like, what's wrong? And like me, I just feel it as, you have some issues. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Like, you got some masochism you got going on. Like, what, you like the torture, you like the punishment. And it's very odd to me, but it is very much about the conquering, and they feel like they've won something because they see it as, well, I'm not the jock, I'm not popular, I don't have that much money or whatever. All I have for me is my smarts. But for some reason, and I don't know if it's just I feel like it's all kids, they find being smart is a weird, like it's bad to be smart, which I don't understand that. They have to prove themselves some type of way, and women and girls are currency. What's the quickest way to prove yourself? Is getting the popular girl in school and proving to everybody, see, I am worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the popular girl chose me. She didn't choose a jock. She chose me, the smart, nerdy guy with no muscles. And again, those same guys, you would think they would have learned from high school. No, they're in my DMs right now, and they'll tell me, I'll be like, oh, hey, you remember me from high school? And I'm like, yeah, how's life? How's everything? Oh, good. I had a crush on you in high school. Okay. Because one, I see it as, why are you telling me this? Because I don't care. We're 30. Like, what am I supposed to do with this information? But they're like, oh, even like the popular ones, they'll say like, oh, I had a crush on you. I'm like, oh, so why didn't you tell me? Oh, I was scared. Why were you scared? Oh, you intimidated me. I intimidated you in high school? Interesting. And that's another thing too. They don't like girls with confidence. They don't like women with
Oh my
confidence.
God.
Ever. They
They're
don't want
intimidated
ever
by
to
her.
they don't want you to ever have any ounce of confidence. They want you to
Crazy.
be desperate for validation, for attention. They just want you to always be there and willing to take any bits of scraps they're willing to throw your way. You're supposed to just eat it up, gobble it up, and be like, yes. And it's like when they meet women like me, or they meet women that's not like that, it infuriates them, but they also like it. And when I say when they don't like nice women, even till this, like even right now, they'll claim that they're looking for wives and housewives who cook and clean and blah 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 blah. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you're out here in the club Saturday looking for the girls in the club.
Facts.
You out here looking for the girls who have 4 to 3 baby fathers, who like fighting, who like doing all this stuff that you claim is not wifely. It's who you claim is oh, you have no morals and no values. But that's what you're looking for in the club right now. That's what you're looking for outside right now.
They be at the club every weekend, girl. Every weekend. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
Every weekend. And it's like, I thought you was looking for a wife. I feel like you're not finding a wife in 2023 in the club. You trying to find a wife in a strip club in 2023? Come on now.
That's crazy. And then they'll come online and complain about them. Same women. I don't get it.
The same women that you said didn't want, but you do want, and then those women show you exactly
who they are.
You mad? It's very strange to me.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
But I just wanted to say that.
I'll go right ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that and say, like, from the different tops, the opposite of, I was the popular girl and they wanted me and I was not nice to them. And I guess they're probably going to blame me right now. I'm part of the problem. But they proved that even till this day, fast forward, this has been, I graduated high school in 2007. I'm 34 years old. They're still in my inbox today.
Wow.
Begging and pleading for me to go out on a date with them.
Oh my
So
God.
do not listen to these men when they say, oh, good girl. I want a good girl. I want a good girl. No, you don't, because I treated you terribly in high school. Why would you think I would be any different now?
Yeah, that's weird. But thank you so much for coming up here and sharing your story, your popular nerd story. Thank you.
Bye, Yoni.
Bye. Okay, Lynn, you are my last caller.
Hello.
Let me go ahead and add you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? Happy birthday.
Good. Thank you. What would you like to add to the conversation?
So my story is similar. Like I've been through many like different styles, but I would say because I'm a curvy girl and I kind of confuse people because they'll see the body and the way I used to dress back then and try to like automatically assume like my personality and what my interests are. And eventually I had to take a break from everyone because it was kind of getting sad because it's like, I don't care about me.
But you didn't feel like they actually wanted you for you. You felt like it was just the outer.
Yes. So it was just, and I feel like they were trying to force me into these boxes. And like you could feel it. And I know in high school, I was very quirky and I was still a thicker girl, but I was slimmer because high school. So people would think that my personality is fake or that I'm trying to put on a personality or this sweet persona, even now as an adult. But that's just me. Like that's just me how I am. And I grew up in a small town, so I had to leave the small town due to privacy and people just trying to like, because I have a child, so people would try to like make my baby daddy mad by trying to holler at me, get at me. I did not like that at all. So when I first moved to where I live at now, a lot of the women were like giving me advice, and I'm like, I don't want to do that because they were leaving out that they were like, S workers, but trying to disguise it as like dating advice.
Right. Oh my. See, I'll talk about this. And then this. I have this question. Do you feel like people don't think you're nice because of how you look?
I think that maybe it's their own personal like trauma or what they've been through that they're like, oh, nobody can be happy. You know how people are like, oh, no one's that happy in the morning, or it's just suspicious to them.
girl, I be having the same experience, and I'm like, I'm not really. I'm a quirky person too. I'm very bubbly.
Mhm.
For me to be sad and down, it's gonna take like a lot for me to get there. And I can have a horrible morning, but by noon, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm laughing. I'm joking. I'm having a good time. I don't take like that serious. So I don't know. I always wondered why do people stereotype me in that way? I don't know if it's because of how we have that look. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. Like, why do you think people don't think you're kind?
I really don't know. Maybe because I don't know, like I guess as a Black woman, like they're just automatically assuming like basically the stereotype that someone mentioned earlier,
Like
or
they don't think
that
quirky Black girls exist.
exactly. And
And then
I'm
they call us weird. Damn.
heavy on the weird. I remember I found a comic book. I used to work at this car rental place. I found a comic book in one of the car, and I was like showing someone that I was cool with. I was like, "Look, I found the comic book," and they just looked at me crazy. So I'm like, "Okay, let me not be around this person." And like right now, my style has went through many changes, but I've went back to my alternative, like earthy type of style.
Ooh, okay.
And I wouldn't say I'm not showing off like my body like that. I'm wearing the flower dresses, the
Mhm.
long skirts, the head wraps, the whole bunch of jewelry on my arms and stuff.
Mhm.
And I actually like where I'm at now as far as like my style and just because I'm like 28. So I've came to terms with who I am basically. It's like it was a switch. So it's either like this is how I am. I'm not changing because there's nothing to change.
Facts.
And
I
like
love that.
thank you. And like I'm falling back in love with stuff that I loved as a kid
Originally. Mhm.
because I've always been like the quirky alternative from a kid all the way to now. I just been like testing out my style. But
Right.
I finally found my blend, my mix.
What would you tell other girls that are like Black girls that are like quirky, just curvy, just like you're different, like because nowadays it's like we feel the need to fit an aesthetic. But what would you
Yes.
tell girls who don't want to fit that? Like you want to do what you like.
I would tell them to take some time, just spend some time with yourself. Because I
Mm.
know I dedicated like 7 months to myself. No
Mhm.
dating, no really going out partying, no really like hanging out with. I mean, I still communicated and like kept up with people, but
Right.
like just kept to myself. Figured out what I like, what I dislike. I was on YouTube videos like how to do this, how to do that, and
Mhm.
just I write a lot. So having a journal, just write down what you like. And then sometimes like joining a group that is similar or finding things like creating your, I don't know if I forgot what it was called, but creating your feed to where it's stuff that you are interested in. And once you find like, because I know I've created so if I go to my explore page, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that I enjoy. So that it makes me more comfortable in the things that I enjoy. And then eventually you'll find your people. Or
Right.
sometimes it's like okay to be by yourself because I enjoy being by myself. I be having the time of my life.
Same. It's so peaceful. I don't know why people don't like it.
Right, I'm having the time of my life. I just be exploring. I feel like I'm on my own little adventure.
Yes, I be happy, giddy. I'm always doing something new. I'm always trying something different. I don't know. I want the girls to like love that aloneness. It's not that you have to stay alone, but it's just
Right.
like just enjoy that part of yourself because it's so much fun. Like nobody, and this is the thing about being alone. Nobody can ruin your day.
At all.
Oh
Nope,
my
not
God.
at
I know
all.
it's gonna be harder if you have kids. Kids they could be very draining.
Yes.
But if you can like have some time to yourself like that, that's unbeatable. I don't care. Like you don't have to worry about somebody ruining your day. You don't gotta worry about somebody else's mood, attitude, and all of that. You can control that because you're by yourself. So I don't know. I like my aloneness. I love it. I don't think I could be in a relationship if I couldn't have my own space.
Exactly. Like I need my time away. Like not,
Mhm.
and that's another thing with relationships as well. Like people do have a problem with the separate bedrooms, separate houses.
Mhm.
But I would love that. Because I think
I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. It's
right,
like to the girls that are like on a level up journey, your aloneness is your upgrade. That's what people don't understand. Like when you're around a bunch of people, it's hard for you to level up. It's hard for you to upgrade. But when you go into like solitude and you tend to be isolated, you're going through an upgrade. And that's why, like, if you feel like you're stuck, you're not getting anywhere, it's probably because you got too many people around you. You may need to go into this isolation for a little bit. Like she said, she went for 7 months and you get this upgrade. And you become a totally different person. When you come out of that upgrade, you're a totally different person. You're not even the same person.
It's like a refresh.
Mm-hmm.
And like, speaking of like spending time alone, like this weekend, I'm going to like this Pinterest event.
Oh,
so it's I'm really excited about that. So like you tend to find stuff, and then you will find your people.
Yeah, you will. You just gotta keep putting yourself out here. You'll find people that go through the isolation period, and it's like y'all are typically aligned, so it's like y'all kind of do it at the same time without really knowing. And then like you guys upgrade, and then y'all come back, but it's like y'all never left off. Those are the relationships that you want. So you're still growing, you're still elevating, you're still working on yourself, but you guys are doing it separate, and then you guys come back, and it's like you guys didn't even miss a beat. Those are the type of friendships you want.
Yes, but that's all I wanted to add.
Okay, well, thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much for coming up here and
You're
sharing.
welcome. Thank you for your platform.
Thank you. You have a nice night.
You too as well.
Okay, you guys, that is my last caller. I'm sorry if I didn't get to you. I will try to get to you next time. But that's pretty much all that I have for this video. I may do another call in, but it will be a Patreon video. I may do it on Friday. But I wanted to talk about sneaky links. Let me see if I can show y'all the video. This is what I want to, if you want to call in for my next one, let me show you what I'm talking about before you guys leave, so you guys can get prepared. Let me see. Here it is. I'll play it real quick.
My ex-situationship reached out to me last night for the first time since December, telling me that he thinks about me a lot and he misses cuddling with me and watching movies. To which I responded saying, I miss that too, but it sounds like you and I both want different things and I cannot allow that to happen unless we're on the same page. Correct me if I'm wrong. And he just responded to that message saying, I've never been opposed to that, but right now it would just be dope to have your company and some other things that I don't feel comfortable saying on here. And he said, if you're uncomfortable with that, I get it. On the one hand, I am super grateful that he's being honest with me, but I'd be lying if I said there's not another part of me that is dying on the inside. And this is where all of the self-work that I've been doing for the past year and a half now really comes into play, because the little girl inside of me is crying right now because she doesn't feel chosen. She doesn't feel wanted. She doesn't feel like anyone ever wants to commit to her. But the healed me is choosing not to believe any of that, because I know that there is someone out there that wants me, that's going to choose me, that is going to want to commit to me, and that is the vision that I will continue to hold. I'm also really grateful because now I know so clearly, like I cannot see it any clearer now, that I can move on and just leave this guy in the past. So yeah, that was a really rough moment. I felt very hurt reading that, because there was a part of me that really wanted him to say, like, yes, let's try this again. I want to explore a relationship with you. And it didn't happen. But I'm really proud of myself for not giving in and for choosing myself instead of this guy that really just wants me for his own benefit.
Okay, so that's the video that I want to do Friday. So if you want to come back and come up here and share your story about struggling, and really it's going to be about you struggling to release a sneaky link, a friends with benefits. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this topic on Patreon is because if you decide to share your story, it will not be public. It will not stay public. So it will premiere public, but it won't be saved public. So if you want to come on here and share how you got over your sneaky link, or how you moved on, or how you struggled, then please come back and come up here and chat, okay, and share your story, because it's hard, leaving a sneaky link, or anyone that you have an attachment to, is very, very hard. I don't want you to ever think that it's easy. If it was easy, everybody be out here doing it. Everybody. So I want to have that live, because I feel like it can help those that need it, so that you don't feel alone when it comes to trying to leave your sneaky link alone when you know you need to, or you should to, but for whatever reason you just feel like you can't. So I'm going to end the live here. Thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. Thank you so much. And also shout out to all the Aries that have a birthday coming up. Thank you, or already had one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll catch you guys on Friday so that we can do the sneaky link video. Bye, guys. Bye, ladies. I'm trying to say bye, ladies, more. I'm sorry. Bye, ladies.